123, very little in it, but a lot of experience between them.
Vladimir Nitsubidze is the referee in the middle for this one. He's going to get things off. There's a flashy entrance that the athletes have to come through for this one. Yeah,
and there you have Minska just coming in looking very solemn as well, in that zone, as we would say.
It's rather like one of those fancy nightclubs that you might find in the West End of London or Paris or something.
It's actually sounded like a nightclub for a wee while, for about half an hour, with the music belting out, but you could hardly hear yourself think, well, these young ladies are definitely up for it. SIDEROT, in the Youth Olympic Games back in 2014, took the gold medal, 3 European Cup medals, and the latest one, a 5th in Tbilisi this year, Grand Prix. And Minska, a little bit more experience. Grand Slam Baku, a bronze medal in Düsseldorf, also a bronze medal, and last year Grand Prix Zagreb in 2016 took the silver. So on paper is the stronger, and the team for Israel have been very, very strong and consistent throughout the day. So it'll be interesting to see how they compete here in this bronze medal final.
I wonder which version of SIDEROT we're going to get in this bronze medal contest. She can be exciting, or at times a little bit frustrating, and she frustrated her coach this morning when she lost that contest that put her down into the bronze medal match. She was 16 seconds away from a win and then gave up a Shido with a false attack. So that left him speechless.
Very frustrated indeed. A lovely Sianagi there, straight in. Wazari scored. SIDEROT really in trouble there with Wazari now down. Still got 2 minutes 45 seconds left in this contest. Still plenty of time to come back, but she is up against a very tough opponent.
Just the single score at the moment. SIDEROT not out of it.
Well, this is totally dominated by Minska. As you see, working her way into the Niwaza, looking for an opportunity on the Shimiwaza, but SIDEROT just keeping very tight down there.
SIDEROT a little bit, there's not a lot coming out of her at the moment. She still appears to be blinded by those lights from the entrance when she came in, maybe. Bit of a shock.
Well, it is a different sort of stage presence here, isn't it? Much, much different from what we've seen in the previous Grand Prix. Very spectacular, but how friendly is it towards the athletes themselves, coming in where it's quite dark and then the lights hit you? Overwhelming for maybe some athletes with very little experience.
It's the big time. They're on the big stage. I remember it was a little bit like that at the World Championships in Rotterdam, when completely dark outside and just the mat was lit up. We kind of moved away from that. There's a chance.
Well, the legs are all
just got the leg
trapped up,
entangled.
But very difficult for her to get out of that position.
Still 1:13 to go. You know, SIDEROT comes up with a score here, and the whole thing could look a lot different.
Well, it's going to be difficult. Minska, like most of the Israeli athletes, are very well prepared for this tournament and many of the other events that we've watched. Very strong, very fit, and they like to take control, command control in their contest. Very difficult to keep up at that pace.
Minska came off second best in the head-to-head with her teammate Shiro Rishoni That's what's put her in this bronze medal contest. We'll see Roshoni in the final, but
it's a very poor drop there from Minska. Really not necessary, especially when you're looking under the minutes left.
That's 2 now.
So one more would result in a hand sokimaki, and we've seen that in previous matches earlier on today, that someone just threw it away at the end. An attempt of a drop CO.
Yeah, she had a second stab at it that just made it look that little bit better. It was that just falling to her knees that was slightly unattractive. She needed to be bringing her opponent with her first, rather than going to your knees and then trying to bring her.
Yes, and again, Minska's just done another drop, and she's got to be ever so careful with that drop.
It's the Portuguese coach just being asked to tone it down a little bit. He's obviously overstepped the mark by just pushing that little bit too much with his encouragement for his fighter. Last few seconds then. One big attack.
Well, as you can see, Minska with the... There is another drop, and it's such a poor drop. And this is so dangerous. She was under pressure.
Yeah, she was looking to just bail out of that.
And the drop COE again. SIDEROT keeping the pressure on. Well, Minska was very, very lucky, I think, with that last drop. She dropped under pressure, complete pressure, which normally would result in the hand sokimaki, the Shido been awarded and hand sokimaki given. So it's something to reflect when she goes back and revisits this match again.
Well, she was on the receiving end of one earlier today herself, where she had 2, but got the drop and she got done. So maybe she's asking, and her coach is saying, well, how come it worked out that way? They don't want to give a penalty. They don't want to give a penalty, and it's got to be absolutely blatant, and you win some, you lose some. Noa Minska takes this particular contest, but she too was flirting with danger with that last attack there. She did, however, come up with the single score. Here it is again. Well, Noa Minska kick-starts the Israeli push for a bundle of medals in this final block. She takes the first bronze medal of this final block. Right, coming up next, Aisha Gabanli of Azerbaijan faces Sabina Giliazova of Russia. Gabanli in the white judogi, Giliazova of Russia in blue. Giliazova had a little bit of a sore arm after her last contest, I think. She just hung on a little bit too long. Gabanli has thrown beautifully for Ipan earlier on, so let's see where the force
is. You can see with the statistics, they're very, very evenly matched, aren't they? They've never had a head-to-head.
Jean-Jacques Ruska is the referee in the middle for this one. Focus time for Giliazova. I think she must be the number 4, 5, or even the 6 under 48 kilo category on the Russian ranking list.
Well, she looks very confident coming onto this mat. You see her there in the corner and just warming up. She looks definitely ready for this contest. Gabanli looking a little bit nervous out there facially, but we'll just see how it all pans out now.
Just trying to break that initial strong grip up of Giliazova. Managed to get in a reasonable attack, and that did the job, got rid of that strong right arm from the Russian. I like Gabanli.
I do. She's very upright, very strong. And that right hand lapel grip, as she turns that shoulder in, makes it very powerful. And as you've got that drop Sianagi, the shoulder coming in, drawing over, scoring
on
it
the
was Ari.
board. Yeah, on the board. And there haven't been many, top flight fighters from Azerbaijan on the female side.
No, that's true. She's had a great performance throughout the day, but very, very powerful. But what I like about her, she just takes the time, great composure. And it is all about her pace. But they're throwing in, the Russian comes in with that Osota off at the side.
Right through
Just
them, wasn't
caught
she?
off a sort of a blind spot there for Gabanli. Again, very strong grip. Gabanli comes in for the drop, but there's the mistake. She tries to come out. She dropped in and tried to spin back out under a bit of pressure, left herself wide open, and that could have cost her. And there it is, the Wazari getting caught.
Well, Rada obviously had a look at that.
Now it should be on the other side.
Yeah, they'll change that. It's just the scoreboard operator being a little bit overexcited. I had a look at that and decided it was worth Wazari for the counter. Now
you've got the Russian there with that really strong grip. She's starting now to settle into this contest. It was a bit of a shaky moment right in the first 30 seconds, but now you're starting to see a little bit more of the settled athletes here. She picks up her first Shido, but still, it's a better pace that she can have time to think.
Giliazova, having gone over once to that Marote Sernagi, is wise to it, but also wary of it.
Also to Makakomi,
that's
but
okay, yeah, she's trying to... and Gabanli, she's not going to work it out in this contest, but she's got to find a combination where that Marote Sernagi is the first part.
Yes.
Because, Giliazova is reacting to it, but there's nothing coming in the other direction.
And Osota right off the side again on that. That's a weak point. That's the Achilles heel for Azerbaijan. Yeah. She's just caught every time on the Osota, but takes it out to the side.
Gabanli looks as though she's got a good shape for the Uranagi if she gets a chance. Wants to get close,
Very, very close. But again, Gabanli has got a nice grip again, very strong.
Minute 13, plenty can happen. Go either way, this one.
Is over there. It's really now piling on the pressure. You can see that right hand high collar. Gabanli picks the next Shido up, so it's one apiece. As we said right at the beginning, this was going to be a very close match. They're very evenly matched. But I just think now the Russian is starting to move into second gear. She's now she's settled in. She got a little bit of a shock right at the beginning with that score. Unsettled her, but now she's really on the attack. And there's the shimmy waza there, and the referee sees
to tap out, yeah.
A great win. Giliazova, that was just perfectly timed and just accelerated up.
Got knocked over early on, but after that she pulled herself together, picked up the tempo, drew the passivity penalty from Gabanli, and then overpowered her in the end.
She kept her composure, she didn't panic. It was very, very rocky to start, and it was a little bit of a wake-up call for her. The drop Sianagi there, carried on rotating, driving through. Now that could have been the real turning point. And the shimmy was
already on.
Yeah, it was there. A nice bit of transition.
Ooh.
Well, there's no argument to that.
Just no defence there. I guess you want to be putting that chin on there, making it hard to get the hand in or keeping some pressure there, but there was nothing.